Do you remember the old Blockbuster video stores? Back in the days of VHS, my siblings and I would roam the aisles looking at all the shiny, colorful movie art on display. We'd make a selection, and when we got the movie home, the video cassette had a yellow and blue sticker on it that read, "Please be kind and rewind." Rewind. Now, I didn't know back then, but that word would turn out to be very poignant to me in time, both for what it stood for and for who was with me in those seemingly innocent moments. Because you see, years later, after nearly a decade of painful depression, I broke. I couldn't take the constant agony, and I wanted out of my miserable existence, out of my carefully curated world and away from the pain. I broke. I suffered a complete mental health breakdown on my 40th birthday and found myself locked in a hospital psych ward with bandages around both my wrists. Now, when you get that one-way ticket to the loony bin, they bring you in as is, with just the clothes on your back and your personal effects reduced to a single Ziploc bag. I had nothing. I had no toiletries, no toothbrush, not even a change of underwear. I had absolutely nothing. I refused to eat, and I just laid there in the darkness for 2 days. It was the lowest and most alone I have ever felt. 3 days later, the social worker managed to find me some clothes and brought them to me. They belonged to a former patient, a large man, I would say, because I stood there in a baggy black sweatshirt, hood up, baggy black pants slung low around my hips, revealing the waistband of white men's boxer briefs. I looked like Justin Bieber. I looked ridiculous. And I have never felt less like myself than I did in that moment. But then there was Gordon, my older brother, a traveling musician who just happened to be traveling through my hometown that week. And he stopped into my semi-private hospital room, and when he walked in, I broke down immediately. I never thought I'd see him again. I never thought I'd see anyone again, to be honest. At least that was the original intention. He was carrying a dollar store shopping bag and proceeded to pull out items one by one for me. T-shirts, a toothbrush, coloring books and pencil crayons, and a notebook. This notebook. He handed me a blue gel pen and said, "I figured this might help." He remembered. As a child, I used to keep a diary. I wrote in it faithfully every night. I wrote about my fears and my joys, about my school crushes and my first kiss. I wrote in it every night, detailing my very life from when I was 8 years old until my early 20s. I wrote so much that I amassed a large box full of these little notebooks. It got lost in a move along the way and I forgot all about it, but Gordon remembered. That journal became a lifeline to me in recovery. I used to sit in the windowsill of the ward common room and just let the words flow out. I went through pen after pen, using up every drop of ink to make sure that my innermost feelings, no matter how dark, got put down onto that paper. It was so freeing, so cathartic. It brought me back to a simpler time, a time of wonder and curiosity, of self-discovery and childlike innocence. It allowed me to rewind. Now, to Gordon, that might have been just a notebook, but to me, his act of kindness opened the door to a path of healing I couldn't even imagine was possible. And it's partly thanks to him, my big brother, that I'm still here today sharing my story. I can't wait for our next movie night. He can pick the film this time.